Many people will believe what they're told. If the person conveying the information is convincing enough, they will blindly follow. They will believe what they want to believe, see what they want to see, and hear what they want to hear, even if the facts speak the opposite. Truth is a matter of opinion these days. A lot of smoke and mirrors. Welcome to Monster of the Woods, the Sasquatch in British Columbia, Canada. This spectacular setting can be found in Golden Ears Provincial Park, located in southern British Columbia, Canada. This is a place well established as Sasquatch territory. Even though we've been here countless times, we found no indicators. Nothing. Nothing out of the usual, that is. However, it is one of the most beautiful places you'll find anywhere. Now, up in those mountains, supposedly, the creatures are quite active, at least during the spring and summer months. With the onset of winter, they're likely on lower ground. But that's not what this video is about. You see, we're heading to ski country, right here, a recon of an area that many claim is a hotbed for Sasquatch activity, and an interview with a former Canadian airborne soldier. Stay tuned. Joining us now from somewhere in the heart of British Columbia is one Sergeant Midway, former member of the 1st Canadian Airborne, an elite group of soldiers that know a thing or two about wilderness survival and things not to do and things that you must do when in the bush. Good evening, Sergeant. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Pleasure to be with you.
Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Now, if you can offer us some advice for beginners, let's say, what should they do when they first go into the forest?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that they should make sure that they're capable physically of handling the trail they're about to undertake and know what you're going to be facing, whether it's going to be a hard climb, easy climb. Just make sure that you're physically fit and capable of taking on the trail that you're looking at.
What equipment do you recommend, Sergeant? Say you're on a trail or if you're bushwhacking. What is the basic essentials one should have with them?
Well, footwear for me is always imperative. You want to make sure that whether you're on trail or off trail, you want to have a proper pair of hiking boots. Sneakers don't cut it. You want something with good ankle support, good traction capability. Depending on where you're going, you may end up in water or not, so you want to look at some sort of water resistance at least, and you want your footwear to be able to breathe.
Sergeant, what do you recommend for the basics? Sustenance, food, supplies, when you're out, say, for a day trip or even overnight. What do you recommend?
I tend to carry trail mix and beef jerky, to be honest with you.
Water purification?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. You've always got to stay hydrated, and you definitely don't want to be drinking water out of a nasty, moldy, algae-covered pond. I mean, a clear running stream is best, but even if, water purification tablets for sure.
So avoid stagnant water, most definitely.
Without a doubt.
So, lastly in this episode, we want to get your thoughts on the Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, aka forest giants. What's your take on it?
Well, as they say, every legend has some grain of truth to it. I tend to think that there, at some point in time, had to be an animal, creature, whatever you want to call it, that somebody is basing this on. And whether it's here today, I don't know. If it is, I would love to see one. And I'm certainly not anti. I just like to let people form their own opinion.
But you've never seen something or heard something unusual in your times hunting or foraging in the forest?
I've heard things that I can't identify, but I've never been shocked by it.
And if you're able to answer, what about your time in the service? Anything unusual?
I was basically overseas in a desert warfare environment, so for me, no.
Well, we're going to have Sergeant Midway continuing his take on things over the next few episodes, and we're most grateful you joined us, Sergeant, and we want to thank you for your service. Remembrance Day is coming up. We ask you give generously to Legion, and any last thoughts?
I just wanted to say thank you, and it's my pleasure to be here with you.
Thanks very much, Sergeant Midway, somewhere in British Columbia. Stay safe. That conversation with Sergeant Midway, Midway being his code name, was for those just beginning their treks into the forest. More experienced outdoors people will likely moan at hearing him talk about something they already know. Remember, this channel has many viewers that are novice. On the next episode, our conversation with the sergeant will be related to those that claim military personnel are contacting them and telling them of a Sasquatch encounter, and why this is likely misleading and false information, just to create more numbers. That's next time. Even though we have suggested you contact us should you have a Sasquatch encounter or sighting, there are others far more qualified in terms of field research or investigation. We recommend Thomas Steenberg, the preeminent current champion of Sasquatch research. Call Thomas. Look him up. It's on the internet. In the meanwhile, sometimes we do travel to those areas where sightings have been made. Sadly, few things happen. We're wishing and hoping. Our expectations are realistic. So let's say that you think you have a Sasquatch in your neck of the woods, and it's troubling because you can't get that image. Perhaps it's reoccurring. The creatures keep coming back. We may be interested in traveling to your area and taking a look around. No strings attached. Your privacy absolutely respected. If you have strong coffee or freshly baked cinnamon buns, well, that's incentive for us. Food aside, seriously, there's a lot going on, and today a distraction is healthy. But maybe some distractions are unnerving. We are most grateful you joined us on this episode of Monster of the Woods, and hopefully we will see you right back here next time. In the meanwhile, stay safe, be respectful, and above all, eyes open, cameras ready. Over and out.